At the bottom of the DJ world, you can spend hundreds of dollars on equipment, play music for years, and still make absolutely nothing. At the top, a single name on a festival poster can sell thousands of tickets, and one night behind the decks can be worth more than most people make in a year. But almost nobody starts on a festival stage. The real path begins somewhere much smaller, usually in a bedroom with a laptop, a cheap controller, and absolutely no audience. This is level 0, the bedroom DJ. There's no club, no promoter, and no paycheck. Your entire career exists inside one room. The first challenge isn't learning how to press play. Anyone can do that. It's learning to hear two tracks differently, their tempo, their structure, their energy, and understanding exactly when one should become the other. So you practice. You ruin transitions. You miss beats. You accidentally kill the music completely. Then you start the track again and try one more time. Weeks become months. Your mixes slowly stop sounding like two songs crashing into each other. You learn beat matching, phrasing, EQ, transitions, and eventually you can play for an hour without everything falling apart. And then comes the question every bedroom DJ eventually has to answer. Can you do this when someone else is actually listening? Level 1, the house party DJ. Your first real gig probably doesn't look like a gig at all. There's no stage, no security, and definitely no dressing room. Someone you know is throwing a party, they heard you have DJ equipment, and suddenly you're the entertainment. You set up on whatever surface is available. A kitchen counter, a folding table, maybe 2 speakers balanced in places where speakers were never supposed to be. And this is where you discover the first brutal truth about DJing. Nobody in that room cares how technically perfect your transition was. They care about one thing, how the room feels. Play the wrong song at the wrong moment, and you can watch an entire dance floor disappear in less than 30 seconds. So you start learning something your bedroom could never teach you. How to read people, when to build energy, when to slow down, when to abandon the song you planned and play the song the room actually needs. Eventually, something clicks. You find the right track. Heads turn. People move toward the music. And for the first time, you realize you can actually control the energy of a room. The money at this level is almost irrelevant. Maybe you play for free. Maybe someone gives you $50. Maybe your payment is pizza and the promise that they'll call you for the next party. But if you were good, one person at that party remembers your name. Then another person asks if you're available next weekend. And without realizing it, you've just acquired the most important thing a new DJ can have, your first reputation. And that reputation opens the first real door, not to a festival, not even to a nightclub, to a small bar that needs someone to keep people drinking on a Friday night. Level 2, the bar DJ. The bar is your first step into the professional world. For the first time, you're not playing for friends. You're playing for strangers, and someone is actually paying you to be there. But the owner isn't paying you because he loves your taste in music. He's paying you because music is part of the business. If people are having a good time, they stay longer. And if they stay longer, they spend more money. That changes the job completely. You can't just play what you like anymore. You have to understand who walked through the door tonight and what will make them stay. Some nights the room is easy. Other nights, every song feels like a test. You play something too aggressive and people leave. Too slow and the energy disappears. Too unfamiliar and everyone suddenly remembers they have a phone. Slowly, you develop another skill: adaptation. You stop preparing a perfect set and start preparing possibilities. Different genres, different tempos, different directions you can take the night. And if you can do it consistently, Friday after Friday, people begin to recognize you. You're no longer the guy who brought the controller. You're the DJ who plays at that bar. The money is still modest. But now it's predictable. One night becomes every Friday. One bar becomes 2. And your name starts moving through a small network of bartenders, managers, promoters, and other DJs. Then one night, someone is watching who isn't there for the drinks. A promoter needs an opening DJ for a real nightclub. They've heard your name before, and now they want to see if you can handle a bigger room. Level 3, the club DJ. The nightclub is different. The room is bigger, The sound system is louder. And for the first time, most of the people in front of you came specifically to dance. But getting inside the booth doesn't mean you've made it. You're probably not the headliner. You're the opener, the person playing while the room is still filling up. Your job is to build energy without using all of it. Play too hard, too early, and you've made the headliner's job harder. Play too safe, and the dance floor never starts. This is where you learn that DJs aren't just competing for attention. They're competing for time slots. The difference between playing at 10 at night and 1 in the morning can be the difference between an empty room and hundreds of people knowing your name. So you network. You meet promoters. You support other DJs. You stay after your set instead of disappearing. Because at this level, being good behind the decks is only half the job. The other half is making sure the right people remember you when next weekend's lineup is being built. Eventually, the opening slots become later. The crowds become bigger. Your name moves higher on the flyer. And one night, you realize that people arrived early because they knew you were playing. That's when the relationship changes. The club is no longer just giving you a place to play. You're starting to give the club something back, an audience. And when a club knows you can bring people through the door consistently, you become more valuable than another name on the schedule. You become someone they want to keep. Level 4, the resident DJ. Becoming a resident changes everything. You're no longer waiting for someone to call and offer you a random Saturday night. The booth is yours on a regular schedule, and the crowd begins to expect you there. That stability sounds like success, but now the pressure is different. One great night isn't enough anymore. You have to deliver again next week, and the week after that. And there's another problem. The same people start coming back. They remember what you played last Friday. You can't simply repeat the same set and expect the same reaction. So your music library grows. Hundreds of tracks become thousands. You spend hours searching for music that most people won't hear until you decide to play it. Eventually, you're doing more than playing music. You're helping define what the club sounds like. People begin associating a certain atmosphere with a certain night, and that night with you. Promoters notice consistency. Other DJs notice the crowd. And eventually, opportunities start arriving from outside your own city. A promoter in another city wants you for one night. Then another venue calls. Suddenly, your calendar starts filling with places you've never played before. For the first time, you're not just a local DJ anymore. You're packing your headphones, getting on a plane, and traveling somewhere because people there want to hear you play. Level 5, the touring DJ. Touring sounds like the moment the dream finally becomes real. Someone in another city is paying you to fly there, walk into a club you've never seen before, and play music for people you've never met. At first, every trip feels important. New airports, new hotels, your name on a new lineup. Even checking into a cheap room at 2 in the morning feels like proof that your career is moving forward. But touring teaches you something quickly. The glamorous part might last 2 hours. The rest of the job is waiting. Waiting for flights, waiting for hotel rooms, waiting for sound check, waiting backstage. Then playing until 3 in the morning and heading straight back to the airport. And every city is a reset. The crowd doesn't care that you destroyed the dance floor last weekend somewhere else. Tonight, you're standing in front of strangers again. If you can win them over anyway, your reputation starts traveling faster than you do. Promoters talk, clubs recommend you. One booking turns into 3, and 3 turn into a tour. Now the money starts changing too. You're not just being paid for the hours behind the decks. Your fee has to cover the value of your name, the audience you can attract, and the fact that another venue wants you on the same night. But there's still a ceiling. You can travel every weekend and play packed clubs in 10 different cities, and most people outside those rooms may still have no idea who you are. To break through that ceiling, being a great DJ may no longer be enough. You need something people can hear when you're not standing in front of them. You need your own music. Level 6, the producer DJ. At this level, the biggest change happens when you're not on stage. You stop playing only other people's music and start building something that belongs to you. Producing is a completely different skill. A great DJ can control a room for hours. A producer has to create the track that another DJ wants to play when you're not even there. So the routine changes again. You play clubs at night, travel on weekends, then spend whatever time is left sitting in front of a computer trying to finish one track. Most of those tracks go nowhere. Some never get finished. Others get released and disappear almost immediately. For a while, it can feel like nobody is listening. Then one track starts moving. A DJ you've never met plays it in another city. Someone uploads a clip. Another DJ finds it. And suddenly, the song begins traveling without you. Now, people aren't discovering you because they happen to walk into a club. They're discovering your name first, and then asking where they can see you play. Your position on the lineup changes. Your name moves upward. Your set time gets later. And the rooms you're being booked to play start getting much, much bigger. Eventually, the invitation arrives that changes the scale completely. You're no longer being booked for another nightclub. You're being booked for a festival. Level 7, the Festival DJ. The first festival changes your sense of scale. A nightclub might put hundreds of people in front of you. Here, you walk onto the stage and realize the crowd doesn't end where you expected it to. But a festival crowd is different from a club crowd. Thousands of people are standing in front of you, and many of them didn't come specifically to see you. You have 1 hour, maybe 90 minutes. There's no slow 4-hour journey like a club residency. Every track matters because the next artist is already waiting backstage. So your sets become tighter, bigger moments, faster decisions. The tracks you spent months producing in a quiet room are now being tested on thousands of people at once. And when one of your own tracks creates the biggest reaction of the night, something changes. You're no longer watching other DJs prove that your music works. You're seeing it yourself. The photos get bigger, the videos travel further. Suddenly, people who have never been inside one of your clubs are watching clips of your sets from the other side of the world. Now the machine around you starts growing. A booking agent handles offers. A manager thinks about the next 6 months. A tour manager worries about getting you from one stage to another. Your calendar stops looking like a list of gigs and starts looking like logistics. Different countries, different time zones, sometimes 3 festivals in one weekend. And eventually, another shift happens. Festivals stop booking you simply because you have a popular track. They start placing your name near the top because your name itself can move tickets. That's the line between being a festival DJ and becoming a headliner. At the next level, you're not joining the event. You're one of the reasons the event exists. Level 8, the headliner. At the headliner level, your job changes again. You're no longer being booked to help fill the lineup. Your name is one of the reasons thousands of people bought a ticket. That gives you leverage, better time slots, bigger stages, higher fees. But it also means the expectations grow every time your name moves higher on the poster. Now, a DJ set isn't always enough. The audience expects a show, visuals, lighting, pyrotechnics, moments designed for 50,000 people to experience at exactly the same time. And behind that, one person standing at the decks is now an entire operation. Managers, agents, visual designers, lighting teams, production crews. People whose job is making sure 1 hour on stage happens exactly as planned. Your schedule becomes a business. One missed flight can affect a festival. One canceled show can disappoint thousands of fans. And every decision now involves more people than it did when you were carrying a controller into a house party. The money can become enormous. But the strange part is that your time becomes more valuable at exactly the moment when you have less of it. You can play in front of 50,000 people at midnight, then wake up alone in another hotel room 6 hours later and barely remember which city you're in. And yet, for most DJs, this is the level they once imagined was the finish line. The biggest stages, the biggest crowds, your own music being sung back to you by people you've never met. But there is still one level above being the name at the top of someone else's festival. It's the level where the DJ becomes something larger than the performance itself. Level 9, the Superstar DJ. At the superstar level, the DJ is no longer just a performer. The name becomes a global brand, one that can exist even when the person behind it isn't standing on a stage. Your music reaches places you've never visited. Millions of people can know your tracks without ever seeing one of your sets. and every new release can create demand for shows on the other side of the world. Now, a world tour isn't a collection of random bookings. It's planned months in advance. Cities are chosen, venues are reserved, tickets go on sale, and thousands of people make plans around the date you arrive. The venues change too. Clubs become festival stages become arenas, and eventually, instead of joining someone else's event, you can build an entire show around yourself. But the bigger the machine becomes, the less of it you control alone. There are contracts, sponsors, record labels, managers, agents, and entire teams making decisions around the name you created. The person who once spent hours searching for the perfect transition is now responsible for something much larger, a career that supports dozens of other careers. And then, sometimes, you find yourself standing in front of a crowd so large that you can barely see where it ends. And it's easy to forget that the entire thing started somewhere much quieter. A small bedroom, a cheap controller, no audience, no money, just someone trying to make two tracks sound right together. Because every DJ at the top of the poster once played to a room where nobody knew their name. The difference is that when the room finally started listening, they were ready for the next level. Because every DJ at the top of the poster once played to a room where nobody knew their name. The difference is that when the room finally started listening, they were ready for the next